We'll call to order the Douglasville City Council regular voting meeting for tonight, which is Monday, June the 2nd, 2025. Our invocation will be done by Reverend Orlando Evans, Evangelism and Outreach Pastor of Douglasville First United Methodist Church. Good to see you this evening.
Always.
After our invocation, we will have our Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by the Mayor Pro Tem City Council Member Terry Miller. Please stand for the invocation.
Greetings, Mayor Robinson, council members, and guests. Let's draw inspiration from Philippians chapter 4, verse 7, which tells us, "The peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus." As leaders, we often encounter complexities and challenges that attempt to steal our joy. When this occurs, we must remember that Jesus invites us to participate in an uneven exchange. He welcomes us to cast our cares on him in return for receiving his peace. This peace allows us to exchange our worries for worship, our problems for praise, and the obstacles we face for the reminder that we've already overcome. Considering this, let us pray. Gracious God, thank you for allowing us to exchange the weight of the world for your peace. Please continue to guard our hearts and guard our minds as we meditate on the life-giving gospel of Jesus Christ. Please position us to enter your rest as we peacefully enjoy your restoration. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, for leading us in the pledge, and Pastor Evans, we appreciate your invocation and welcome of peace. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening. My name is Rochelle Robinson. I'm Mayor of the City of Douglasville. This is a regular voting meeting where action will be taken on the items that were discussed last week at our legislative work session. So I will go over a few protocol items and then we'll get into the meat of our meeting. So we're looking at our agenda and now we're at announcements and presentations. So I will do the announcements and then we'll go through the presentations. I ask that you would please keep your comments and presentations on a professional level, dealing with the facts that are important for this governing body to make our decisions. We will not accept comments that are considered by the chair to be of a personal attack on any individual or group of individuals. You will receive a warning from the chair if you deviate from this requirement. A second deviation will result in a request for you to leave the chambers, which this is not the chambers, but Building 300 at Jesse Davis Park for the evening. Only one person speaking at a time. Please do not applaud or react to speakers. Speak from the audience, cheer, or carry on a conversation with others in the audience when you are at the podium. We ask that you would please just direct all of your comments and concerns to the chairperson. Now, if you have a cell phone or electronic device, I ask that you please put those in silent mode and or power those off so they will not be disruptive this evening. And now I will go over how the agenda items will be handled. The committee chairperson will read his or her agenda item. Then that person representing that agenda item or applicant will make his or her presentation. And that will be the only opportunity at that point for them to make their presentation after a rebuttal during the public hearings. Myself and council members will possibly ask clarifying questions that were not raised last week at the work session. If there's a new additional information. After that, the committee chairperson will ask for comments or statements from the audience if it is during a public hearing. There's a maximum time of 20 minutes for those to speak in favor of the item and 20 minutes for those to speak in opposition, and each person has 5 minutes to speak. If there are more than 20 minutes worth of people talking at 5 minutes apiece, you have to divvy up your time so that the maximum time is 20 minutes. So if there are 20 people speaking in favor of the item, each person gets a minute, or you choose 5 or 4 spokespersons, but in totality, each side gets 20 minutes. Prior to coming to the podium, please fill out a card that is outside. It's a blue speaker card. You can give that card to our city clerk, Ms. Vicki Acker, to my right, next to the city manager. We ask that you to put your name and address on the card. When you come to the podium, give us your name and address for the record. This is not a question or answer or debate format. We're here to hear the information, deliberate, and make our decisions. This is particularly important during the public hearings. We must understand you may have questions or information that's being presented. We'll try to answer the questions. However, this is not the format for us to have questions going back and forth or debate time. A lot of that information that was given should have been discussed at the legislative work session. If the information is repetitive, we ask that you will not come forward and give us the information again during public hearing. It's just open for new information. I hope that's all. I think I've covered everything that we have for the meeting this evening. We understand a lot of our citizens are here about particular zoning items. I was not here last week. I was ill, but I did watch the video on YouTube, the entire video. It was a long meeting, and we thank everyone for coming out and giving their concerns and opinions. And again, we do take everything into consideration. We don't make decisions arbitrarily or capricious. It's really taking into consideration the best and highest use for each zoning item that is conducive for the entire community, inclusive of citizens who live in the area, developers, and property owners. Property owners have rights as well. They own the property and pay taxes, so they have recommendations on what they want on their property as well. So it's up to myself and council to consider all of those variables and make the best decision that we feel based on the comprehensive plan and all those things that I've aforementioned. So we do take things very seriously, and we try to do the best that we can for the community at large. Not perfection, but the best that we can as human beings. So again, we will move on with the agenda. There are printed agendas outside on the desk. If you'd like to have a paper agenda, there are some outside on the desk. If not, you can follow us on these screens. And we'll move on, and I'll have each committee person, once we go through the presentations, to present their committees. We're at item number 4, and it's a presentation from myself to present a proclamation to Ms. Angie Cochran, our court administrator, and the municipal clerk, court clerks, declaring June 9th through the 13th, 2025, as the 3rd annual Municipal Court Clerks Week in the city of Douglasville. Now, while Ms. Angie is here, I just want to take personal privilege and ask the judge to stand with his new bride, Judge Keith Rollins, to congratulate him. Congratulations, Judge. On their second round. It's beautiful to see you all. Congratulations, Mrs. Rollins. And we are just happy for you being married, not honeymooners still, a couple of weeks. So thank you so much. Thanks, Judge. All right, so I will read the proclamation, and Miss Angie, if you have your court staff come forward. Office of the Mayor, Rochelle Robinson, proclamation for the 3rd Annual Municipal Courts Clerk Week. Whereas municipal court clerks play a significant role in ensuring that municipal courts preserve public safety and promote quality of life in the city of Douglasville and local municipalities. Whereas the procedures for the City of Douglasville Municipal Court operations are set forth by the Uniform Rules of Municipal Court and other laws of the state of Georgia. Whereas some and more people come in contact with the municipal court clerks than all other city services combined. And public impression of the City of Douglasville's judicial system is largely dependent upon the public's experience in municipal court. Whereas municipal court clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all. Whereas the City of Douglasville's municipal court is committed to the notion that our legal system is based on the principle that an independent, fair, and competent judiciary will interpret and apply the laws that governs us. Municipal court clerks act in a manner that promotes public confidence in the integrity and impartiality of the judiciary. Whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments and significant role these municipal court clerks play in preserving the public's confidence, integrity, and impartiality of the judiciary. Now, therefore, I, Rochelle Robinson, Mayor of the City of Douglasville, do hereby recognize the week of June 9th through the 13th, 2025 as Municipal Court Clerk Week, and extend sincere appreciation to our dedicated municipal court clerks, Angie Cochran, Court Administrator, Kristen Leatherwood, Court Supervisor, Deborah Foreman, Senior Court Clerk, and Court Clerks Chelsea McKaylee, Brandy Smith, Mary Beth Wigley, Tanya Dooley, Holly Stringent, Rhonda Laundrie, and Christine Roberts. We commend all municipal court clerks for their vital services they provide and for their exemplary dedication to the community that they faithfully serve. So proclaimed this second day of June 2025. Let us give the court system and our clerks a hand as we appreciate them. You want to say anything,
We
Judge? You want
appreciate
to, Miss
And I think the judge
Angie?
wanted to say something.
Okay.
Can you imagine? that
I know. Good to see you, Judge.
Thank you again. Every year when we have a Christmas dinner, I always make it a point to ask them to look around and answer the question, how many people does it take to make a judge and a court look good? Count heads. This is what it is. Ms. Cochran keeps things running with the assistance of all these ladies, iron-handedly sometimes, yes, but it's necessary. The importance of their job is not appreciated by everyone. If they miss a sentence order or a piece of it, if they write a guilty on a no-low ruling, it has consequences. It can cost somebody their driver's license. It can cost somebody getting arrested at night. If they clear a warrant and don't do it right, they don't click the right button, somebody get arrested. You don't want citizens being arrested at 3 o'clock in the morning in the city of Atlanta or Decatur and then calling here saying, well, I took care of that 2 weeks ago. What's the problem? There's tremendous liability that they ensure does not make its way into a situation before it ever happens. They do their job well.
Yes,
They
sir.
do their job right. And it allows me to love my job. I thank them, probably not enough for what they do
Yes,
to
sir.
keep things running. It wouldn't happen without them.
Well, thank you so much, Judge. Miss Angie, you want to say anything, or you're?
We just appreciate everything y'all do for us
Yes, ma'am.
and for the recognition. It is long overdue. The clerks haven't been recognized. I think this is
Aw.
what, the third year.
Yes,
And we
ma'am.
worked hard on getting this.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
that's-
You're
Well
welcome.
deserved.
Do we have someone to take a photo, City Manager? Okay. Council, would you mind please coming, if you all come around the tables, and we'll take a photo.
All right, right here on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. One last one. Big smiles. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you so much. We give honor where honor is due. Now we will move on with our agenda to item number 5, which is approval of the agenda. So I will open the floor for a motion for the adoption of the regular meeting agenda for June 2nd, 2025, item 25-202.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman Nessus. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. It's been properly moved in second for the adoption of the regular meeting agenda for tonight, which is June 2nd, 2025, item 25-202. Do we have any discussions, comments, or concerns from council? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 25-202 is unanimously approved, so the adoption of the regular meeting for tonight is approved. Now I'll move on to the approval of the minutes. I will open the floor for a motion to approve the minutes of the May 15th, 2025 legislative work session and minutes of May 19th, 2025 regular meeting. That's agenda item 25-203. Open the floor for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Thank you. Councilman Watts, may I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved in second, moved by Councilmember Watts and second by Councilmember Estes to approve item 25-203. Do we have any questions, comments, or concerns from council? I don't hear any. All those in favor of approving item 25-203, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 25-203 is unanimously approved. We'll move on then to the consent agenda. I will open the floor for a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilmember Estes. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Davis. It's been properly moved by Councilmember Estes, second by Councilmember Davis, to approve the consent agenda as presented. Do we have any questions, concerns, comments? We're getting some technology together. Okay. I know. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The consent agenda is approved. Now we'll move on to Economic Development Committee. That's chaired by Mayor Pro Tem City Councilmember Terry Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The Economic Development Committee has no business at this time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, and thank you again for taking the meeting over last week. Finance Committee, chaired by Councilmember Chris Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business in finance tonight.
Thank you, Coach. We'll move on to Housing and Community Affairs Committee, chaired by Councilmember Hestus.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The Housing and Community Affairs Committee has no business this evening.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Estes. We're back to you, Mayor Pro Tem, for Legislative and Intergovernmental Committee.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under the Legislative and Intergovernmental Committee at this time.
Thank you so much. Playing tennis. Now we're back to Councilmember Estes for Personnel and Organization Committee.
Thank you again, Madam Mayor. The Personnel and Organization Committee has no business this evening.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Estes. Now we're at Planning and Development Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Nicole Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
We do have a couple of items this evening.
Uh-huh.
And that first item is just a motion to remove from the table. So at this time, I would like to make a motion that we remove from the table item 25-213.
Thank you so much. Madam Chair, we have a motion to remove from the table item 25-213. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved in second, moved by the chair and second by Councilmember Watts to remove from the table item 25-213. Do we have any questions, comments, or concerns from council? I don't see any. All those in favor of removing this item from the table, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. This item is removed from the table. So 25-251 is unanimously approved and removed from the table.
Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Next item is item 25-213.
Mhm.
Says tabled from May 19th, 2025. Consider a request for a variance from section 4.08 of the Unified Development Ordinance to allow the canopy accessory structure to be placed in the front yard and encroach in the front yard setback at 11 feet on a land lot of 1.30 acres at 9465 Highway 5 and land lot 160, District 2, Section 5, parcel ID 0001, application by 1618 Land Holdings. And Dana Gray is going to go over this item with us.
Okay, this is a request for a convenience store with gas pumps. They are asking for 3 variances. One being to allow the canopy in the front yard and to allow the canopy to encroach 11 foot into the 50-foot front yard setback. Two, they allow the corner of the rear of the building to encroach into the front yard setback plus or minus 11.1 foot along Highway 5. And then the third, reduce the parking spaces from 55 to 33 spaces. I do not have any updates, but there was a question asked about the gas tanks, the storage underneath, which is allowed, but the vents cannot be in that setback. So there are vents for those gas tanks that can't be in there. And they also have another option to run the vents through the canopy columns and out, so.
I appreciate that, thank you.
And the
as it-
applicant is here.
As it relates to this first item here, did the applicant have anything to add to it?
Before, you said
No.
no.
Okay. Council, do you guys have questions or comments of this first item here? No? Okay. With that being said, then I make a motion that we approve item 25-213.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. I have a motion to approve. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved in second, moved by the chair and second by Councilmember Estes to approve item 25-213. Do we have any additional comments, questions, or concerns for Mr. Gray, either applicant or any other concerns? Not seeing any. If all those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 25-213 is unanimously approved.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The next is item 25-252, and that is a motion, or at this time, I'd like to make a motion that we remove from the table item 25-214.
Thank you so much. I have a motion to remove from the table. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. Is that who it was, City Clerk? Thank you. Moved by Chair Councilmember Miller in, and second by Councilmember Estes to remove item 25-214 from the table, which is item 25-252. Do we have any questions, comments, or concerns from council in removing this item from the table? I don't see any. All those in favor of removing this item from the table, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 25-252 is removed from the table. You can proceed.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The next item is item 25-214. Says tabled from May 19th, 2025. Consider request for variance from section 4.08 of the Unified Development Ordinance to allow the proposed building to encroach 11.5 feet in a front yard setback on land lot of 1.30 acres at 9465 Highway 5 and land lot 160, District 2, Section 5, parcel ID 0001, application by 1618 Land Holdings, and our very own Mr. Dana Gray is here to go over that if we have any questions.
I have no further updates for this item.
Thank you. Council, do you guys have any questions of Dana Gray or the applicant? Okay. With that being said, then I make a motion that we approve item 25-214.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. We have a motion to approve. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Estes. It's been properly moved in second, moved by the chair, second by Councilmember Estes to approve item 25-214. Do we have any questions, comments, concerns? Chair has already asked if we have any from council. I don't see anyone. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 25-214 is unanimously approved.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This time, I would like to make a motion that we remove from the table item 25-215.
Mm-hmm. Okay, do you have a
Second.
Thank you. So probably moved in second to remove item 25-215 from the table, which is item 25-253. Do we have any questions, comments, or concerns from council? Not seeing any. All those in favor of removing this item or approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 25-253 is unanimously approved, so we can remove from the table item 25-215.
Thank you.
Uh-huh, you're welcome.
Okay. Next, sorry, we're gonna update that. Just a moment. Okay. Item 25-215
Mm-hmm.
Says tabled from May 19th, 2025. Consider request for variance from section 8.01 of the Unified Development Ordinance to reduce the, pop-ups, to reduce the required parking spaces from 56 parking spaces to 33 parking spaces on a lot of 1.30 acres located at 9465 Highway 5 in Land Lot 160, District 2, Section 5, Parcel ID 0001, application by 1618 Land Holdings LLC. Mr. Dana Gray, do you have anything to add to this?
I did speak with the applicant about providing more spaces than 33. Unfortunately, the lot does not allow him to add more spaces. They might be open to reconfiguring the retail space so that they can not have such a dramatic requirement. So I
Okay.
believe the applicant can speak about that.
Okay. Would you like to come down and tell us what your thoughts are on that? And if you'll just give us your name and address for the record, please.
Madam Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, is this on?
Yes.
Good evening. Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Members of the council, Madam Chair, I appreciate the opportunity. Terry Boomer, LJA Engineering, 130 East Main Street, Canton, Georgia.
Mhm.
After speaking with Dana today and the client today, we do these a lot. In a lot of cases, and a lot of code will allow for a net floor area. So speaking with the applicant, or the owner, client, he would consider reducing one of the retail spaces to a strictly storage or uninhabited facility. It could be a offshoot to one of the businesses for strictly warehouse and storage. That'll help reduce the parking requirement per your code. As I discussed on Thursday, we have codes across the state that allow for less parking, and some codes, like Clayton County, require more. We're here before you in this body for a variance request to your specific code. We're going to sink a considerable investment into this asset, and we wouldn't want it to go dark after month one because we don't have enough parking. We feel comfortable and confident based on real-world applications that our parking will meet the type of businesses we'll put in that building. We don't want the building to go dark. The rents today are marginal and maybe covering the basis, maybe not. But it's right up there on that intersection, right up there on that hill. We want it warm and we want it lit. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Actually, that was very, very helpful. In my mind, I was trying to figure out if there was some kind of common ground that we could meet on with those parking spots. Council, do you guys have questions? I guess at this point, I kind of feel like, is that something that, can we do that? Just put that in a condition that we would, that one of the units would be used as storage?
We would definitely have to check the code for that, if storage is allowed, or we can offer anything else that can be retail in GC.
Okay, or I mean, like, it looks like it just wouldn't be rented out, so, you know, like, you know, the tenants who were there could use it as some kind of backup storage or something.
It's possible.
Okay. Well, if you can help us figure that out. Council, do y'all have thoughts on this?
I think it'll work, Madam Chair. We just, I don't know how we can make the
Yeah.
motion with that stipulation. Just have to get wording from the attorneys to make certain that it does happen, so that we can protect our ordinance and how many parking spaces we require.
Okay.
We can, there's room on the ordinance, and we can reprint this page tomorrow, make it look nice, but to write it on there prior.
You can write it tonight? Okay.
Okay.
Just give us the verbiage
Okay.
for Madam Chair to make
Coach,
the motion.
You look like you have it.
Well, I was just gonna say that, you know, we would want all the space lit and being used. I guess there's concern about what could go in there with a limited amount of spaces available. You know, I'm not a business guy, so I don't know, but that seems to be one of the concerns having that a retail spot that maybe is not, doesn't require as much space, but might not add to the community. So I don't know what that is, I'm
Well,
just
I
throwing that.
think, I think what he's saying is like, say if there's the store and then 4 units, the 4th unit would not get rented out.
Right.
It would just be there for storage for the other tenants who are there.
So would that provide the other businesses 2 parking spots each, if we do that math roughly? Is that what I get? Or-
Mhm.
Okay.
That's kind of what I was
So
coming up
it'll
with.
meet the parking requirement.
It's closer. I feel much better about that. So if we can find a way to write that in there, I feel good with that, if y'all do. Okay, well then, at this time, I would like to make a motion that we approve item 25-215 with the condition of the 4th unit not being leased out.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. We have a motion to approve with the special stipulation that aforementioned by the chair and the applicant, and that it will be written into the permanent record before it's signed by the legal staff. I know that's a whole lot to say, but approving with the stipulation that we just mentioned, item 25-215. So we have a motion on the floor. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 25-215 with the information that was presented by the chair and the applicant in making that 4th space, and it's going to be presented to us to sign in that format. All those in favor of? Oh, yes, sir.
The plan shows 5 units. You mean the 5th unit, not the 4th?
It's a convenience store plus 4 additional units.
Okay, you're counting 4 as the
Yes.
separate 10. Okay, I just want to make sure we're clear on that. Okay, thank you.
No problem. So we have an additional, thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, this is your ward. Do we have any additional comments or concerns from council members? Thank you, not seeing any. All those in favor of approving item 25-215 with the special stipulations that have been mentioned, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 25-215 is approved.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. You're welcome. Congratulations.
Our next item is item 25-216. Says to consider a request for special land use permit for a personal care home for property zoned R3, single-family residential detached district for 1.7 acres at 8354 Chicago Avenue in land lot 193, District 2, Section 5, parcel ID B017. Application by TC Personal Care Home. And Mr. Dana Gray is down here to go over this item with us.
Forgot to give a greeting. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Dana Gray, 6695 Church Street. Again, this is a special land use permit for a personal care home located at 8354 Chicago Avenue. The home will be serving 2 to 6 elderly residents. The applicant has provided this type of service in other locations for nearly 10 years, and they are looking to expand their business at this site.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. And is the applicant here, and do they have anything they would like to add? No? Okay. Council, do you guys have questions on this item?
Like, Chairwoman, Councilwoman.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Miller, is the applicant here?
Yes.
I have a question for the applicant. Hi.
Hello, my name is Joan Tufor, residing at 8354 Chicago Avenue.
Thank you so much, and I apologize I was not present last week. I just wanted to say I was taking a look at your home, and, you know, with our seniors, the way that things are, I know that my father, instead of putting him in a facility, a personal care home was just really great. So I just wanted to say I commend what you all are doing, and will you only provide services for seniors or just individuals that need care in personal care home, not adolescents, but?
Yeah, it will be a general of individuals that need it. Mostly it tends to be seniors, but as long as the person is able to evacuate the premises within 3 minutes with minimal assistance, they are allowed to be in a personal care home.
Okay, and there will be a staff there overnight?
Yes, so
Okay.
we are required by the state to have at least 1 staff member for the 6 people that we are having for 24 hours.
So I'm glad you answered that. You would know what you're doing. The other thing
Yes.
too is, Do you have activities for the residents that will be there?
Yeah, we have a mixture of, sometimes we have a chaplain come in to give them church services, game nights, movies, those sort of things. So we have a calendar that lists out our activities daily.
Okay. Have you planned your open house yet?
No, not yet. We're waiting for you guys.
Dang set. Okay. All right. So please be sure when you're ready to do that you send. And I'm Councilwoman Burdanley, and this is in my ward. I share the ward with at this time with Councilman Davis. So I just wanted to meet you and say thank you.
Oh, lovely to meet you as well. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ladies, for coming up to go over those questions. Were there any more questions regarding this item? No, this one's really great. I like it. At this time, then, I make a motion that we approve item 25-216.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. I have a motion to approve. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Watts. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 25-216. Do we have any additional comments or concerns from council? Thank you, Dr. Burdanley, for bringing those concerns up. Not hearing any other comments. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 25-216 is unanimously approved.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Our next item is item 25-217. Says to consider a request for a change in zoning from residential agricultural county and R2 single family residential detached district city to PUD Plan Unit Development District City for 21.24 acres located on Malone Road and land lot 646, District 18, Section 2, parcel IDs 0001, 0002, 0003, land lot 647, District 18, Section 2, parcel IDs 0001, 0002, and land lot 703, District 1, Section 3, parcel ID 0006, application by the Malphurs Group. And Mr. Dana Gray is down here to go over this item with us.
Okay, so this is a request to rezone from a county zoning class of RA, which is residential agriculture, and R2, which is a city zoning classification, to PUD, Planned Unit Development, for a parcel that's located on Malone Road. The applicant is proposing 181 units. 163 of those are townhomes and 18 are triplex homes. They are also requesting for an annexation. And there is a PUD that's located north of the site that has a character area of medium density residential. And if approved, it is the intent for this site to be in medium density residential.
Thank you for that, Mr. Gray. Is the applicant here?
Yeah.
Hello, Darrell Ray, 6554 Church Street, Douglasville. Thank you for having this meeting tonight and getting this all going. Basically, with some things that have been going on and the letters we've seen from the community and some of the comments we've had and some of the conversations we've had over since Thursday evening, you know, we would like to request to table this rezoning, give us a chance to sit down with, you know, the HOA out there, some of the members there, maybe sit down and talk with the council members and see if we can't find a way to make this project work and work for everyone. My client, they want to be a good citizen and add to the community and with this, so respectfully ask to table this here for several weeks, give us time to run through some meetings and talking with people on the council and people within the community and see if we can't come to a resolution that everybody can agree to.
Thank you, Mr. Ray.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. Council, did you guys have any questions regarding that? No, at this time. Then I make a motion that we table this item. And it was off to something else. My apologies. No, I've got the
July
dates up.
17th and 21st.
Okay, then at this time, I'm making a motion that we table item 25-217 to the meetings of July 17th and July 21st.
Thank you. Madam Chair, I have a motion to table item 25-217 to the meetings of July 17th and 21st, 2025.
Second.
Thank
Second.
you. It's been properly moved in second to.
I wanted to
Oh,
be
you
the
want some,
second.
you want additional comments or questions? I apologize.
I can
No.
withdraw my second if you like.
Yes, please
I
do.
withdraw my second.
Yes.
Withdraw your second.
Second.
Additional, any comments or concerns? There you go.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem.
Madam, Dr. Bird Danley.
No, I was just, second, no, I don't have any other
Oh,
comments.
you were seconding to
No,
table.
we did it at the same time, so he withdrew his and I,
Oh, so that you can be the second?
yes, for our
Okay.
ward.
So we have we properly motion and second to table items 25-217 to the meetings of July 17th and 21st, 2025. Do we have any additional comments, questions, or concerns from council as relates to tabling this item? Thank you. I don't see any. All those in favor of tabling 25-217 to the meetings of July 17th and 21st, 2025, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item 25-217 is unanimously approved to table to the meetings of July 17th and July 21st, 2025.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our next item is item 25-235. It says to consider consider a petition to annex 13.69 acres at the northeast intersection of Malone Road and Linecrest Drive in Land Lot 646, District 18, Section 2, parcel IDs 0001, 0002, and 0003, and Land Lot 703, District 1, Section 3, parcel ID 0006, application by the Malfresh Group. Mr. Dana Gray is down here to go over this with us.
Yes, this is a request to annex 4 parcels that are in the county to the city. That
And
completes.
being as how we tabled that previous item, I'm going to suggest then and make a motion that we also table item 25-235 to the meetings of, and of course, I'll just-
July 17th.
July 17th and July 21st.
All righty. Thank you, Madam Chair. I have a motion to table items 25-235 to the meetings of July 17th and 21st, 2025. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Burdanley. Do we
Yes,
have any
ma'am.
additional comments, questions, or concerns as relates to tabling this item? I don't see any. All those in favor of tabling item 25-235 to the meetings of July 17th and 21st, 2025, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 25-235 is tabled to the meetings of July 17th and 21st, 2025.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our next item is item 25-220. Says to consider a request for a change in zoning from public, semi-public to town center mixed use for 7.39 acres located at 6840 Church Street in Land Lot 16, District 1, Section 5, parcel ID A014, application by the Norhaven Partners LLC. And Mr. Dana Gray is going to go over this item with us.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a request to rezone from PSP's, public semi-public, to TCMU, Town Center Mixed Use for development consisting of 2 apartment buildings and 2 retail commercial buildings. The apartment buildings would be totally 257 units. The commercial buildings are located on Club Drive. The proposed development is located behind the existing amphitheater. Staff has recommended conditions, one being that Norhaven must acquire property rights to the cemetery that encroachment before the land disturbance permit application. And the development plan must be approved by the city engineer and the community development director before the land disturbance permit application. And the applicant also has a few variances as well.
Thank you. Did the applicant have anything to add to this item? No. Council, did you guys have questions of this?
And I
Of
do
this
have
request?
extra information. There was a concern about the schools. So the proposed apartment is zoned for Winston Elementary School, Chestnut Log Middle School, and Douglas County High School. It'll be additional, according to the calculation, additional 83 students may impact the school bus routes and local traffic patterns. So they estimate Winston Elementary School would have 44 students, Chestnut Log Middle School would have 26 students, and Douglas County High School would have about 13.
Thank you for that. And while you're speaking on that, do you have anything that you can provide to us that the school board has weighed in on?
That was the school
But,
board.
I mean, like with did they have any concerns over this development?
They basically just gave the information of
Okay.
the number.
Okay. Because realistically, when we see this application, we're several years out from a development like this actually opening its doors. Okay. So that gives them time to plan for future students that would be coming online.
That's correct.
Okay. And just for the record, I know that we've also, in planning, that you guys work along with WSA, the police department, fire department, our transportation department. Was there any other information that has been provided that you can share with us on those?
Fire just required construction details of the electronic gate. The other review teams would usually weigh in during the development
Okay.
plan.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
When I watched the video, I'm not sure if this is a development. I could be confused. It was long. I wasn't feeling well, but I still watched the whole video on YouTube. Was there something about trees?
Yes,
Is this
we'll
the
get
one?
to that one. Yeah,
Okay, this
that's
is
it.
not the tree one.
Well, right now, we're just discussing changing that zoning from the
Okay.
public semi-public to the town center mixed use.
Uh-huh.
But there's a few variances that are attached with the same development, so we're gonna talk about that in just a minute.
Okay, I apologize. I
No,
thought I
no,
was
you're fine.
wrong, but I was making certain that because that's exciting about what the tree
Yeah.
thing. Okay.
And if I may, just to reiterate that this is, this area was planned since 2017 to be, to provide mixed use and density to the downtown area as an anchor, to be a bike loop, walkability, to improve streetscapes, public art, and attract developers with incentives, and also to bring in more restaurants. Yes, that is.
Yes. And in fact, in the previous developments that we had looked at trying to bring on, it was always apartments, but one of those previous ones, they were proposing 350 apartments. And we did try to get more of a commercial, but in the change in environment, change in climate, change in our economy, that the 8,000 square foot was where we came to with it. There was going to be a viable use for it.
Yes, ma'am. So, Madam
Yes,
Chair, and
Madam
this
Mayor.
it's gated?
So the parking will be gated for
Right.
the residents who live there, but
Right.
not the entire complex.
Understood. And then the other thing was with, and I'm not sure if the city manager, we may not have the agreement yet, but with the county board of commissioners, with the library, the walking trail that's supposed to be connected.
We're working, Director Bass and Director Gilchrist over at Douglas County are working to develop a path that connects to this area, to the library. So it's a separate project, but they're working on that.
So this will really encourage that walkability and bicycle and all of that in our downtown. So,
Absolutely.
okay, I know we're working, trying to get all that
Yeah.
connected up with this
There's-
development.
There's
Okay.
a lot of moving pieces that are going to come together eventually.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Were there any more questions or comments on this zoning piece? Okay, you guys, then I'm gonna make a motion that we approve item 25-220 with the conditions that Mr. Gray was just going over with us.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. I have a motion to approve item 25-220. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Watts. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 25-220 with the conditions that were stipulated by Mr. Gray. Do we have any additional comments, concerns, or questions from council? I don't hear any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 25-220 is unanimously approved. Excuse me, is somebody
Yeah,
being
I'm sorry, no,
disruptive?
Is actually, tonight is not a public hearing.
It's
Tonight
not
is
a public hearing.
hearing.
Excuse me?
No, sir. So there is no public hearing this evening, and that's what I actually emailed you about, and I copied the city manager in, because we're going to make sure that we get those answers for you that you were looking for. Because there is a portion where you can speak on items at the end of the meeting.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Madam Chair. went over that at the beginning of the meeting. If it's a public hearing, you can have comments. If not, there are comments taken under citizens and delegates, but not to rehearse what was already talked about and what we're voting on with the items. But go ahead, I apologize.
Nope, you're good.
You have all the alphabet, so we're down to K.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
No, it's not. There we go. Item 25-222 says to consider a request for variance from section 4.10G of the Unified Development Ordinance to reduce a required interior street sidewalks from 15 feet to 5 feet on a land lot of 7.39 acres located at 6840 Church Street in Land Lot 16, District 1, Section 5, Parcel ID A014, application by Norhaven Partners, and Mr. Dana Gray is going to go over this item with us.
All righty.
Again, this is a reduction of the interior sidewalk from 15 foot to 5 foot. That concludes.
Thank you for that. I know there was a lot of conversation on this the other night, just to kind of help explain that these are not the sidewalks that the general public uses. These are the sidewalks on the interior of the building.
Right.
And with this being a new ordinance that we just adopted, this is our first run at it, there are going to be some kinks in the road. There are going to be some changes that we're going to have to make to, as we get through there.
Yes, ma'am, but I believe this is the Gainesville, Madam Chair, I apologize, I'm just talking. Can I talk?
No,
now?
no, I'm sorry.
Okay. This is the Gainesville, we went to see this development that Norhaven had done, and that it was adequate. This is not their first time doing a development of this sort. So there was adequate space within that development that we went to see with the walking inside of the development, which I believe was the same distance, 5 feet. So it was enough for people to walk around that lived in the area. Do you all remember going to see this development? It was very nice.
Yes, I do. It was an incredible building, and even with those reduced sidewalks down to 5 feet, they were still ADA accessible. It was really a fabulous development with elevators and concierge downstairs. There was a coffee bar downstairs. There was a doggy washing station down there. I know several of us said, "Oh my goodness, can we get our kids out of our house so we can downsize and move over here?"
It's very nice.
It definitely was impressive. So,
Okay. So just to say that there was adequate space
There
within the
was.
development for people to walk around. All righty.
was.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for
Thank
answering
you,
my
Madam Mayor.
question.
Were there any other questions on the sidewalk variance? Okay. If we're
Okay.
comfortable with that one, then, you guys, I'm going to make a motion that we approve item 25-222.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have a motion to approve item 25-222. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 25-222. Do we have any additional comments or concerns as relates to this item in the sidewalks? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 25-222 is unanimously approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
Item 25-223 says to consider a request for a variance from section 4.10.I.2 of the Unified Development Ordinance to waive the requirement that no 2 stories of the same building may have an identical facade on a lot of 7.39 acres located at 6840 Church Street in Land Lot 16, District 1, Section 5, Parcel ID A014, application by Norhaven Partners. And Mr. Dana Gray is here to answer any questions that we may have on this item.
Yes, and this is a request to waive the requirement for no two stories on the same building shall have identical facade. And it was spoken on Thursday that this is a good one to have in place so that we'll wind up with just one material for the facade, like just brick and windows without sensitivity to a good design.
Right.
Thank you for that. And hold on, I just wanted to make sure that I'm looking, because this is this just in relation to the commercial buildings too, right? Or
This
was
is for this one is for the actual apartment buildings.
Okay, okay. I just wanted to make sure that I was looking at the right one when I'm speaking on this. Okay.
Because the commercial buildings are one story.
You're right. My apologies. Council, do you guys have questions, Madam Mayor and Council, on this item?
Nope, it'd be unique.
Mayor Pro Tem, I
Yeah.
know you do.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, I just think this is one of those issues we want to revisit in the future, the wording on that, because I think it can be a little over restrictive in terms of design, because there's, you're going to see, like you're seeing with this particular design, that, there's ways of creating repetitiveness that still has uniqueness to its character. So I think that's just one of those things that we want to think about the wording on that a little bit and how that's approached. So
Yeah, because we may want to extend the height in the city for a skyscraper or something, and you want it to maybe every third floor have the difference in every third floor.
I don't know that we're going to get skyscrapers anytime
Well, you
soon.
know what I mean, tall buildings.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, if you have a taller building, I mean, we allow up to 5 stories within the downtown. I mean, that's in the current ordinance. And I think there's ways you can striate, for instance, the facade, and so that you could still, you could have differences laterally rather than horizontally.
Right.
Okay.
And maybe that's the way we approach this, is, giving the designers, the architects, a choice of one or the other, but to restrict, I mean, you could end up with, looks like Hollywood Squares.
Yeah.
If anybody remembers that show. But you don't want to look too peculiar if you're requiring different it becomes like every window has to look
Yeah.
differently, so.
Yeah, there's some uniformity.
So, yeah, I think
Okay.
just something we need to think about the wording on that a little bit, moving forward.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, and it is a new ordinance, so like we said, we're going to have to look at it and kind of go through it with a fine-tooth comb and make adjustments where needed. If there is no other discussion, I make a motion that we approve item 25-223.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have a motion to approve. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Is that you? Okay. It's been properly moved by the chair and second by Mayor Pro Tem to approve item 25-223. Do we have any questions, concerns from council members? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 25-223 is unanimously approved.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry, my iPad is not wanting to cooperate.
It's a little delayed.
There it goes, okay.
Mhm.
Item 25-224 says to consider a request for a variance from section 4.10.J.3 of the Unified Development Ordinance to allow the substitution of a surface parking development plan in lieu of the slip deck if additional property is acquired on a land lot of 7.39 acres located at 6840 Church Street in land lot 16, District 1, Section 5, Parcel ID A014, application by Norhaven Partners. And our very own Mr. Dana Gray is here.
Okay, so the applicant is requesting to present a different development plan that includes surface parking in lieu of the split deck parking. The neighboring property, AT&T, they're in negotiation with purchasing part of that property. And if that goes through, then they would like to switch to the surface parking. And that concludes.
So then the area that right now is proposed to be a slip parking would then become a regular parking lot.
Yes, with an additional property which will be parking, which will be behind one of the apartment buildings.
Okay. Questions on this?
I do have a quick question,
Yes, Madam
Chair.
Mayor.
What if they don't get the AT&T property?
Then they will keep it the
They'll keep it, so this is
an
an option for them
Yes.
to have slip parking, or if they acquire AT&T's area, they'll make it one just a flat parking lot.
Yes, and that'll
Okay.
be a portion of AT&T, not the whole site.
Just a portion of
it, yes.
AT&T. Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Gray. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, any other questions on the parking? With that being said, I make a motion that we approve item 25-224.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 25-224. Do we have any additional comments, questions, or concerns from the council members? I don't hear any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 25-224 is unanimously approved.
Item 25-225 says to
Mhm.
consider request for a variance from section 8.02 of the Unified Development Ordinance regarding tree locations in the parking areas on a land lot of 7.39 acres located at 6840 Church Street in land lot 16, District 1, Section 5, parcel ID, excuse me, A014, application by Norhaven Partners. And Mr. Dana Gray is here to go over this with us.
Okay, so we are required to have a shade tree every 15th parking space. So the applicant is requesting to waive that requirement. However, we have placed a condition with this item, and the condition reads, the developer will donate $1,500 per tree for a total of 9 trees, and that money will be donated to KDB, which is Keep Douglasville Beautiful, for the purpose of the tree restoration throughout the city.
Thank you for that. I know there was a lot of discussion about the trees. Right now, there are no trees. It's a completely vacant lot, but the trees, through the ordinance and what we could do to bring some trees onto this development now. Council, do you guys have questions or thoughts on this?
I'm excited
Yes.
about more resources for KDB. I've been with KDB to replant trees at Hunter Park, Jesse Davis Park, Douglas County High School. So it'll be nice to have some more resources to plant more trees in the city. So we appreciate the gesture from the developer.
Thank you. I love
Mayor
that.
Pro Tem has something.
Mayor Pro
Yeah,
Tem?
a question, Mr. Gray. The site plan that's presented shows trees scattered throughout the parking lot. Is that reflective of the reduction in trees, or is that showing the original intent with the amount
That's
of
the
trees?
original intent of the
Okay.
trees, because they're kind of at the end, and
Okay.
they're kind of neighboring the cemetery. But usually you'd have a condition where you have the trees on either
Right.
end, but you count in 15 spaces, and
So-
that's where you'll get a tree island.
Okay, so yeah, I didn't feel like counting all these parking spaces. These trees then are not going to be actually put in those locations that are shown on the submitted site plan, but as currently shown.
The ones on the end,
Yeah, I guess they're all on that.
they still have the option to put those. Those are not part of the requirement. So it's really, if you have a straight
You're talking about just the
100
mid
spaces.
trees are the ones being
Right,
removed.
that's where
Okay.
you break it up with the shade
Gotcha.
trees.
Are any of the trees also, they're showing trees on the parking along the arc in front of the amphitheater. Are those still, is that still part of, is that part of their responsibility, or is that part of what we're putting in? I can't tell where the property line is there.
Do believe so. I don't recall at the moment. I don't know if we can pull that up. Or
There's-
the applicant
It's right-
can- The trees near the amphitheater?
The trees along the parking arc around the amphitheater, is that part of the development?
Yeah.
Okay, that will be, those will be placed by the developer. Good, okay. Excellent, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you.
Were there any other things on this? Okay. Thank you so much for Mr. Gray and to the applicant for working together on this to find some common ground so that we can work through that.
And engineering.
And engineering, yes, I'm so sorry, engineering. Mr. Thompson, okay. With that being said, I make a motion that we approve item 25-225.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Nestor. This is a motion and second to approve item 25-225 with the stipulations that were mentioned by Mr. Gray about the trees and the resources that were going to be given to KDB. Do we have any additional comments or questions as it relates to this item? Not hearing any. All those in favor of approving item N, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 25-225 is unanimously approved with the stipulations that were presented.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What?
Alright. Item 25-226.
Mhm.
To consider request for a variance from section 9.01 of the Unified Development Ordinance to allow construction within the city stream buffer setback on a land lot of 7.39 acres located at 6840 Church Street in land lot 16, District 1, Section 5. Parcel ID A014, application by Norhaven Partners.
Again, this is the applicant requesting to allow construction within the city stream buffer setback. We have placed a condition on this item as well, and it reads, the developer shall restore the existing stream buffer in the area that is not encroached upon prior to the approval of the land disturbance permit. And they shall provide all parking stalls and aisles within the 25-foot impervious setback, utilize a certified pervious pavement system. An example would be pervious concrete, porous asphalt, or permeable interlocking pavers, designed to retain a minimum of 1.0 inches of runoff. The system must be designed and installed per Douglasville, Douglas County Water and Sewer stormwater regulations and include an infiltration layer as appropriate. A record long-term maintenance agreement is required, subject to annual inspection by the city or the county.
Ooh, thank you for that. And Madam Mayor, Council, do you guys have questions? Coach, you're right here. I see that hand.
I'm assuming the developer is aware of that condition and has approved that.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? No? And just for clarification, because I know there was a lot of going back and forth about it, and I've heard some misinformation, but we're actually not looking to do anything that was not already there previously with the old development when the jail was there, and we are also abiding by the state laws with that as well, or ordinance. So,
And WSA.
And WSA, yes, ma'am. I feel like everybody is working together on this development, so, okay. All right, well,
Pro
there's,
Tem.
I'm sorry?
And that's, yeah, and I was gonna say, that's another item that we should look at in the future is adding permeable pavers, permeable paver requirements in some developments. That may be certainly an issue to look at as, moving forward, because it's just a good idea and it's good for the environment and you know, it's not that much more expensive than a standard paving system.
That's a great idea. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Hey. How about then? Thank you again, all of you guys, for working together to come up with that. At this time, I make a motion that we approve item 25-226 with the conditions that Mr. Gray just listed out.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 25-226 with the stipulations and conditions that Mr. Gray read into the record. Do we have any additional comments, questions, or concerns from council? Not hearing any. All those in favor of approving this item with the stipulations read by Mr. Gray, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 25-226 is unanimously approved.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Mr. Gray.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. That is all that we have this evening for planning and development.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. You did a wonderful job. We'll move on to item 14, which you also are the Chair, Public Improvement and Beautification Committee.
Yes, ma'am. We have no business this evening for public improvement and beautification.
Thank you, ma'am. Public Relations Committee, chaired by Councilmember Samuel Davis.
No items at this time, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Councilman Davis. Public Safety Committee, chaired by Councilmember Dr. LaShawn Burdamley.
No items tonight, Madam Mayor, under public safety. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Dr. Burdanley. Recreation, Culture, and Tourism Committee, chaired by Councilmember Chris Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight under Recreation, Culture, and Tourism.
Thank you so much, Coach. We'll move on to Technology Committee, chaired by Councilmember Elena Hudson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under the Technology Committee this evening.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Burdanley, we do have an item for you under Transportation Committee.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. We have
You're
one
welcome.
item tonight under transportation. It's consider a proposed ordinance to amend subsections 4.04 through 4.11 and then 5.03 and 10.06H to provide clarification regarding traffic study requirements. Ms. Mann.
Alicia Mann, 6695 Church Street. Before you, you have the updated traffic study ordinance that addresses the comments from the council, round of council meetings from March 13th, as well as the comments we received from the Douglas County Transportation Engineer from the Department of Transportation, as well as the Planning Commission meeting from May 6th. I don't have any new information from the last meeting, however, I could answer any questions.
Okay, are there any questions? Okay, I make a motion, Madam Mayor and Council, that we approve item number 25-140.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. I have a motion to approve. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 25-140. Do we have any questions, comments, or concerns from the council as we're putting this forward with the UDO? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 25-140 is unanimously approved. Thank you, Ms. Mann and Dr. Burdanley. You have any other business?
No, Madam Mayor, no other business tonight. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll go on to other businesses. Do we have any other business from council members to bring forward to the table? I don't see. Oh, yes, ma'am. Dr. Burdanley.
I just had a comment. I just wanted to say, yesterday I visited Jesse Davis Park, and just, I can't just continue to give kudos to our staff, to our director, Mr. Bass, and his staff. It was just very wonderful to see Jesse Davis yesterday going to the pool and visiting the staff. There was just a very diverse crowd that was here, all ages. Everything ran smooth. So our public safety and liaisons and just visiting the staff. I just popped up, and I just wanted to say it just felt really, really great. So whenever I can give kudos, just continue to do what you do. And it was wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Burdanley. I'm going to piggyback, if you don't mind. We had the Metro Atlanta Mayors, Metro Atlanta Mayors Association meeting here at Jesse Davis Park last week. And so mayors from all over the metro area, Sandy Springs, Stonecrest, all over, Brookhaven, whatever. It was just really, really nice, and it was held here. So we have several requests to have tours here. I know the mayor from Mableton. I don't know which other mayor talked to you, city manager, but several mayors wanted a tour of the park, and everyone was really impressed, and staff did an excellent job. So thank you, city manager and Director Bass. It went really, really well. So it was a nice meeting, and staff does a great job. All right, any other comments from council? Okay, not having any other business, we'll do updates from our city staff. Our city attorney, Mr. Joel Dotson.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Staff attorney, Ms. Miranda Jordan.
No business, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Our police department, our deputy chief, J.R. Davison.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, deputy chief. City manager, Ms. Marsha Hampton.
Yes, ma'am. I'll just ask for a real quick executive session toward the end of the meeting.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Ms. Hampton. Now we have the opportunity for comments from citizens and delegates. If you'd like to approach the podium, give us your name and address for the record, and you have 5 minutes to talk to us about any business germane to the city of Douglasville.
This is very different from where you've been. My name is Cindy Welch. I reside at 3002 Concord Way, Douglasville. I only have one question. On the rezoning for item 25220, it was rezoned from public service, semi-public, to a town center mixed use. And then there was a variance to allow substitution about the parking area. and it said if additional property is required, then they could use a slip deck. If additional property is required, will they need to come back and rezone it so it matches the property that they have?
Well, Ms. Welch, if you don't mind submitting your questions to staff, they can answer during the public hearings for those items. Was the opportunity for us to go over the items back and forth to kind of answer questions and get some concerns. So the public hearing is closed for particular items, but if you have some other concerns, you can submit
I
them.
just was gonna ask, do they have to come back and ask to have that zone to match?
Mr. Dawson.
To answer your question, they don't have to use the slip deck if they get the additional property. It's not the other way around. If they don't get the additional property, they'll have to use the slip deck, but they don't have to come back. They only get to use,
But if they,
one-level parking if they get the other property.
if they get additional property, will it not have to match what the 7 point some acres is zoned?
Ms.
They
Welch,
can't have two zonings on, when they put it together as one piece.
When they get that additional property, yes, ma'am, they'll.
Okay, they'll
include
have to
that
come
in the
back to
zoning, but they
rezone.
don't. We can't do it because they hadn't bought it
Right,
yet.
right. I just was making sure they'd have to come back. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Any other comments from citizens and delegates? Please come forward and give us your name and address for the record.
I'm Howard Lynn. I live at 6735 Oakhurst Court, Douglasville. I'm very disappointed tonight. And has something changed where you don't get to speak? I know you speak Thursday night, and if you have, I understand, if you have something, they don't want you don't want to be heard the same thing you heard in Thursday. But if there's other information that you wanted to give, you're not allowed to do it. And I know I've been to these meetings before, and I've come before the council
Yes,
to
sir.
have something that I wanted rezoned. And I know I've had properties zoned before up here and whole developments. This doesn't look right. I don't know. You've got situations here. You didn't allow anybody to speak. Plus, you've got a piece of property that you are getting. You're rezoning. I think this is town center, probably mixed use, first go around. Okay. What you did tonight, you opened the doors for the town center corridor from, I believe it's the mill site, all the way to Whitley Drive. If I go in and I can find somebody that sell me a 1 acre house, 1 acre tract, I can put 28 apartments on it, on just one parcel. All I've got to do is pave the parking lot, call it commercial, and I can build it. There's nothing in this covenant and this ordinance that says how tall you can go. That's a judgment call. It's just not right. Douglasville owned the property. Council owned the property. Council is now zoning their own property. And not only are you zoning it, you are given 5 variances on your first go-around. You went from 50, you could have held it at 50. No, you allowed 80. Okay, you have a 50-foot setback on a creek. No, you got to go to 25. If I was a developer coming in, I'd say, hey, this is easy pickings. And I am very disappointed with what you guys did tonight. I'm sorry, but thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Any other comments from citizens and delegates? Again, during public hearing time is when we can take public comments for those zoning items, and the public hearing was during work session. You can come forward, Dr. Rogers. Thank you for your letter. I appreciate that, your email.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Madam Mayor, Council. Thank you for taking us into consideration as July 17th approaches and this time comes forth, the things that I put in that letter, and I hope that every one of you took a few minutes to read it.
Yes, sir.
Take us into consideration because there's no wrong in doing right. And I got you, sister.
Yes, sir.
So thank you in taking us into the consideration.
Yes,
you
sir.
know, we're the folks that's voting y'all in, and thank you, Sam, for taking my call, Councilman Sam, LaShawn, thank you. Y'all have a good night.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Dr. Rogers. Any other comments from citizens and delegates? Thank you. We appreciate your time. If we don't have any other comments from citizens and delegates, I will open the floor for a motion to adjourn into executive session to discuss a property acquisition.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Watts. It's been properly moved in second to adjourn into executive session to discuss a property acquisition. All those in favor of approving item 25-256, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. We are adjourned into executive session to discuss a property acquisition. This meeting is adjourned to executive session.